All right, this is a quick hitter. We got a really good question on a topic we talk about a lot on sled drags for rucking. So as you guys know, we're fanatical about sled drags. I tell every unit, every individual, every strike team I work with, if you take one thing from me, sled drags for your mountain trips and your rucking. And so the question was, what is the distance or time we build up to mimic those rucks? And the best answer for that and the best implementation is going to be and learn off my personal, I think as the coach, you need to put too much salt on your food before you serve others. And so we need to make all the mistakes on ourselves before it touches the end user. I'm never going to use my athletes as guinea pigs. They are not going to ever be a product of let's try this. It's going to be I know this works versus I've read about this. Quickest way, side rant, quickest way I'll walk away from a conversation is if I talk to somebody who says, I read this works. I don't give a shit what you read. I want to know what you know and what worked. So back to point. The question is, what is our time cap? What is our time goal? What is our distance goal? What I found best to carry over to the rucks is to microdose it, because we've done long range, and I say I've done longer ones up to 45 minutes, and the problem is you don't want these to be non-intentional in steps. The reason the sled works so well is even steps through heel, through toe, and drive through that heel, finish on toe. So I tell everybody, strike through heel, finish through the toe, and you're gonna feel yourself through that glute. I don't want any of the sled walk to be off the glute when we're doing that forward march. I'll even have guys, sometimes if I need to bring up their glutes, I'll have them take kind of like a duck stance and point the toes out and walk like they're in spurs. And that way they're driving through glutes the whole time. So it's like if you do a reverse hyper or an RDL and you point the toes out, quick way to fill those glutes. And so I'll have them do that. And we'll do it glute emphasis striking through. So when they step, they're actually stepping across, finishing through that glute. And so what we'll do is if they have a mountain trip coming up, a cycle I'll do for them on the sled marches for rucking is we'll microdose it before every single lift. And depending on the skill level, let's talk like if they're new beginners, 2 minutes a day. We'll work up to, and if they're intermediate guys, 10 to 15 minutes a day is going to be perfect, and we'll build up to that. So I'll work backwards from the trip, and our end goal is going to be in the 10 to 15 minute range. But here's how you progress it, because these are easy if you're not a mature lifter or not, if you don't have a good weight room maturity. These are good survival ones where it's like, I'm just dragging a sled. You have to be intentional with the steps. So for progression, to make sure we're actually progressing it in that 10-minute window, because again, I'm not really concerned what a guy can do in 4 hours. I want to see what he can do in an hour to really hone in on that work capacity and that work density. And so what we'll do is in that 10-minute cap, 12-minute cap, 15-minute cap, I'll have them track their distance and we'll beat that as their PR. So in that 10-minute, how great is our turnover getting on those ruck strides? That's the name of the game, of how efficient can I be in that center of mass with those ruck steps. That's why strongman's great in the off season. That's why sled's great around. Strongman teaches us to be very efficient under load in that center of mass step, very close to our body. And the sleds teaches us the turnover and the stride frequency to be an efficient rucker without all the ground pound on the spine. Hope this helps. Send us more questions. We'll answer them. Thick neck, thin morals as always.